She followed love to America, but after success came silence. And then she was gone. In the quiet town of Maple Springs, Minnesota, a place known more for its snowstorms and summer church picnics than mystery, the sudden disappearance of Thandiwe Moyo left the community shaken. The story seemed simple at first. A hard-working African immigrant nurse who vanished after a hospital shift. But as investigators began to peel back the layers, they uncover a far more complicated reality, one filled with secrets, betrayal, and ultimately heartbreak. To outsiders, Thandiwe had it all: a stable nursing career, a lovely home, a devoted husband, and the American dream in full bloom. But what looked like a picture-perfect life hit cracks so deep they would eventually collapse everything. Thandiwe Moyo, originally from Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, was the youngest of 5 daughters. Her father, a retired school principal, often said she had a fire in her spirit. The kind of girl who didn't just dream big, she chased those dreams relentlessly. In 2014, while attending Youth Leadership Conference in Johannesburg, she met Cabello Moyo, no relation before marriage, a soft-spoken, mechanically gifted man from Gaborone, Botswana. Their connection was instant. Thandiwe said he made her feel seen. Cabello said she made him believe. They married in 2016 and settled briefly in Botswana, but both had greater ambitions. Cabello secured a visa through a U.S.-based vocational program for auto technicians and left for the United States in 2017. For 3 years, he worked tirelessly, often taking on additional side jobs, living in share housing, and saving every penny to bring Thandiwe over. She joined him in 2019 and within a year enrolled in a nursing program in Minnesota. With Cabello's encouragement and sacrifices, she excelled, eventually passing the NCLEX exam and becoming a registered nurse at Oak Valley Medical Center. In less than 5 years, they had achieved what many immigrants only dream of: a dual-income household, legal residency, and a modest but beautiful townhouse in Maple Springs. Neighbors began noticing a change. The couple who once took long walks together now rarely appeared side by side. Thandiwe, once warm and outgoing, now hurried past people in the hallway, earbuds in, eyes on her phone. There were whispers within the local African community. One friend confided that Thandiwe had grown critical of Cabello. She called him too quiet, too soft, too comfortable. Back home, he was everything. Here, he's just standing still, she allegedly told a friend. Cabello, for his part, became more withdrawn. He started refusing extra work and began spending more time at home, cooking, cleaning, trying to keep the marriage afloat. "I'm doing my part," he told his pastor, "but it's like I'm invisible now." Then, on March 5th, 2024, Thandiwe disappeared. That evening, Thandiwe finished her 12-hour shift at Oak Valley Medical. Security footage showed her walking briskly to her white Honda Civic around 7:18 p.m. She looked tired, but not alarmed. She waved briefly at a colleague, unlocked her car, and drove off. She never made it home. The following morning, Cabello reported her missing. He said he fell asleep waiting for her and thought she'd stayed late to cover someone's shift. But when she still hadn't returned by morning, he knew something was wrong. A search began. Flyers were printed. Friends and co-workers were questioned. 2 days later, her car was found parked near a frozen lake 10 miles outside of town. There was no sign of a struggle, no blood, no personal belongings. Her hospital badge sat eerily on the passenger seat. Naturally, suspicion turned Cabello. He had no confirmed alibi for the window between 8 p.m. and midnight. His phone had been turned off during that period. When police questioned him, he was calm, too calm. Some said he consented to a search of their home and handed over his phone willingly. Investigators found no evidence of violence or foul play. But the deeper they looked into Thandiwe's life, the more tangled the story became. Bank records revealed a hidden account where she had transferred over $37,000 within 11 months. She had been frequently texting someone listed as MN, later identified as Marcus Nyarko, a Ghanaian traveling surgical tech based in Chicago. According to one colleague, Thandiwe had confided she was considering leaving her husband. He is a good man, she allegedly said, "but I feel like I'm suffocating." Investigators soon uncovered a trail of encrypted telegram messages between Thandiwe and Marcus. They weren't just talking, they were planning. She had promised to move to Chicago with him in the spring. The last message she sent said, "I'm going to tell him. Tonight, I can't live like this anymore." Marcus was smooth-talking, charismatic, and according to multiple accounts, persuasive. He denied involvement, insisting he hadn't seen Thandiwe in over a month. But GPS data and tower pings place his phone just 3 miles from where Thandiwe's car was found on the night she disappeared. When confronted, Marcus changed his story. He admitted they met that night. She was scared, unsure, emotionally overwhelmed. He claimed she told him she needed more time, got back in her car, and drove away. But forensic teams found traces of blood on a scarf buried in the snow near the lake. DNA matched Thandiwe. Security footage from a nearby gas station also caught a man resembling Marcus purchasing fuel and cleaning supplies less than an hour after she was last seen. He was arrested on suspicion of homicide. Despite Marcus's arrest, Thandiwe's body has never been found. There's no confirmed crime scene, no murder weapon, and no confession. Prosecutors are building their case on circumstantial evidence. The GPS data, the digital messages, the blood traces. But defense attorneys argue that without a body, the case lacks foundation. Meanwhile, Cabello has relocated to another town. He left Maple Springs quietly, refusing interviews but issuing a written statement through his church. "I gave everything to bring her here. I wanted to see her fly. I did not expect to be left grounded. May truth find light. May she find peace." The community remains divided. Some still believe Cabello had something to do with it. Others blame Marcus. But many are simply haunted by the silence that followed Thandiwe's final words. What really happened to Thandiwe Moyo that night? Did she try to escape a life she no longer wanted? Did she place her trust in the wrong man? Or is there yet another layer of the story no one has uncovered? In a town where nothing much happens, the disappearance of one woman has changed everything. And until her body is found or someone tells the full truth, the case remains what it is, missing and unsolved.